Good morning. Today we are going to be starting division. Okay, so we're going to start with something that hopefully is pretty familiar to you guys, which is division with a single digit divisor. So there's a couple kind of terms here that we're going to have to go over. So okay, so here's your division box, right? You say, the number goes inside or outside the box. You've heard that before. So this is your dividend. So the number that goes in the box is your dividend. The number that goes outside of the box is a divisor. This is being divided by this, okay? So it's always the number inside the box that is the number that is being divided. I know a lot of times we mess that up when we're saying it. And the answer is called the quotient. And if you have anything left over, we call it the remainder. Okay, so that's your terminology. Terminology is a fancy word for your terms or your vocabulary words for your division. So we have the number that's being divided, the dividend. It's being divided by the divisor. The answer is the quotient, and any leftovers we have are the remainder. So if you were to say a number like this, you just say 238 divided by 4. Okay, that's how you would say that. So what that means is the first number, whatever the first number is the number that goes inside the box, okay? And unlike multiplication, where you can flip your numbers around, with division you can't flip your numbers around, because splitting 238 into 4 equal groups or into groups of 4 is much different than splitting 4 into 238 groups, okay? So your numbers have to be in the right order. So when you say it, you say 238 divided by 4. You say this, 238 divided by 4, okay? So let's get into what that would actually be. 238 divided by 4, okay? So we go one number at a time. Basically, you're going to see how many 4s will fit into this number, okay? How many 4s it takes to make this number. And we do it one digit at a time, okay? With division, we're actually going from right to left. When you multiply, you go from left to right. When you divide, you go from right to left, okay? And one way to remember that is division and multiplication are opposites. So we're doing them in opposite directions. So you look and you say, you start with the first digit, you say 2. Can 4 go into 2? Another way of thinking about that is if you had 2 of something, could you make a group of 4? Or you could say, does 4 times anything equal 2? No. Okay? So 4 does not fit into 2. All right? So we're going to put in, you can do a couple things here. We're going to put an X here. Okay? And then we're going to look and we're going to say it doesn't go into 2. So now we get to move over to the second number. Okay? So now we ask ourselves, does 4 go into 23? So, well, yeah, if I have 23 of something, I can make groups of 4, right? Okay. How many groups of 4 can I make? Well, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, and 4 times 6 is 24. Okay. I can't go over. So I don't have enough to make 6 groups because that would be 24. But I have enough to make 5 groups, which is 20. So I can make 5 groups of 4. So I subtract what 4 times 5 is because I'm going to have to use 20 out of that 23, okay? So I can use, 4 can go in there 5 times, and 4 times 5 is 20. So I subtract the 20. I have 3 left over. Now I'm done. I am okay as long as this number is smaller than that number. If I did my work and I subtracted and this number was 4 or bigger, then I did something wrong and I have to go back and make this number bigger, okay? And we can talk more about that later. But so we have 3. Now I'm going to bring down the 8. So now I'm going to say, how many times does 4 go into 38? Because this is now the new number that I'm working with. Well, I know that 4 goes into 23 5 times, so I know it's going to be more than 5. And I would just know that I was just talking about how 4 times 6 is 24, so it's going to be more than 6. So you have to go as close as you can without going over. So I'll show you what I mean. Like if I put 6 here and I subtracted 24, I would have 14 left over. That's way, 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 way too much. okay? Because if I have 14 left over, I can make more groups of 4. So that's how I know that's not going to work, okay? So I need a bigger number there. So 6 wasn't big enough. I had 14 left over. So what's 4? 2 more groups of 4 maybe? So that would be 8. 4 times 8 is 32. But I think I can go higher. I think I can go to 9 because 4 times 9 is 36. Okay, and I can't use a number bigger than 9 up top. So if I have to use a number bigger than 9, I've done something wrong. So 4 times 9 is 36. 38 minus 36 is 2. All right, now what I do is I look, are there any other numbers here? If there's no other numbers to bring down, then I'm done. And if this number is smaller than 4, I'm done. This is my remainder. If I have 238 of something, I can make 59 groups of 4, or 4 groups of 59, however you want to talk about it. And I'm going to have 2 left over that I can't use evenly. So that is going to become my remainder. So I'm going to have remainder of 2.